Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I want to talk about posing, the art of posing, and we're gonna be using AI as well. But at the same time, I want to demonstrate to you that, of course, we have Blender and we have cool rig like this one, Miles Morales rig that you can grab online. And yeah, I believe we are in the kind of like in the renaissance of animations, or if you're doing like comics as well, this is like a really good time. I don't know, maybe since 2020, if you are like a you are aspire to be an animator, or you aspire to be like a comic artist, manga artist, I think it's the time is right now because you got all the tools. In fact, we got too many tools out there, so it might confuse you a little bit. There are so many things happening at the moment, especially with the AI that's enabling you. Just if you are doing like a dance, for example, you record yourself dancing. From that video, you can just turn it into like a Spiderman. In this case, this is I use Spiderman as an example, one of my favorite superhero. In fact, probably the only superhero that I always watch. The rest of them, like Batman, Superman, maybe not so much, but Spider-Man, I always watch any Spider-Man movies. So where do I start? Where do I start? If you are asked to draw a Spider-Man, where would you actually start? A good one is actually to find a reference, right? Like this one from Post Maniacs. Um, that of course, if you're sending it to AI, it will just give you like a Spider-Man in a pose already. This is probably good for comic art. It looks like a finished artwork, but yeah, it's still no. There's a lot of works to do. It's not. You can get a interesting looking pose simply by passing a pose into AI. But yeah, that's one way to do it. Probably not very fun. The better way is of course to grab a pose that you like in perspective, because Spider-Man needs to have some kind of perspective to make it looking cool. And also at the same time, you're probably doing some googling, look. Okay, we cannot just go to Spider-Man drawings. I just try to find like reference of Spider-Man. There are all kind of Spider-Man because we are living in a multiverse at the moment. All kind of Spider-Man that you can imagine yourself. That's could be a starting point, but this is the classic Spider-Man that you can draw. So you look at reference Spider-Man photos, or even like cosplayer photos. This one, there's some from comics, some from the movies, or even like cosplay. There's just simply like too many, too many, uh, too many data, or too many reference out there. So like I said, everything happened at once. So if you want to draw a Spider-Man, even like just you just want to draw a simple Spider-Man, you sometimes is you get overwhelmed because too many reference out there. Okay, so find a Spider-Man that you like, and then maybe find a pose that you like, and then start drawing. Right, if you're not confident with drawing from reference like this 3D and it's looking daunting, maybe start by doing like a live drawing. If you go to YouTube, like this Just Draw party for gestural drawing, this is also a really good reference. If even if you're not drawing Spider-Man, if you this is a good one because uh, you can see it provides you with a reference pose that you can use to draw. Okay, so this is highly recommended, and it gives you like a 1 minute pose, sometimes less, sometimes more, and the pose are really dynamics. So you can draw this like gestural drawing, and you can use this to draw Spider-Man. Spider-Man is I can say it's the easiest out of the other superheroes to draw because you have very little details. But you still have to draw like the muscle, things like that. Anyhow, yeah. So where should I go now? Okay. Yeah, okay. I want to talk about the AI part as well and the Blender part. We got Miles Morales rig here. If I reset the pose, yeah, I get this basic pose. So with Blender, of course, this is another reference, another tool. You can actually just pose the character because it's already rigged like a puppet. So you can pose it whatever you like. The pose, okay, Spider-Man pose, it seems easy, but you also need to keep in mind the to make like a dynamic Spider-Man pose is not as simple as you think. You can make like a silly pose and it's still looking like Spider-Man because it's like a puppet rig inside Blender, and then you render it out. So I rendered this one, right? And I'm using this Blender ControlNet script that I talked about in the past few videos ago. This one is actually coming from GitHub. If you search for Blender ControlNet, I'll Google, come on. You can go to this GitHub. There's a script that you can download that's enabling you to connect Blender into automatic 1111. So what I just did from Blender, we get a something that's totally different, and it's like a girl dancing. Okay, I need to change this to Spider-Man. Spider-Man dancing on the beach, ocean background, sunset glow. Maybe replace this with a daytime, sunny. Run the script. So from Blender, it's gonna do a quick render, and then it's sending it to automatic 1111, and we are hoping that we're gonna get a result that correspond to the pose. You don't actually need to do this, but you will see. Yeah, okay, you have Spider-Man not in the same pose, but it's at the beach. So the background is by AI and the stylizations is by AI, because here we have Miles Morales Spider-Man. If we check at the render itself, let's see. Okay, I did a few tests. This pose is wrong. I think the script is not buggy. Maybe then the script needs to be changed. I did set it up to open pose, and then the model is also set to div control as div15 open pose, and it should talk to, in theory, it should talk to automatic 1111. So like, let me just drag and drop. It should draw the Spider-Man in that same pose. Okay, if we do it manually, hopefully it will do this pose, because I did enable it and I set the preprocessor to open pose. I have a feeling sometimes I think that depending on the rig, maybe it doesn't always read the pose correctly. Let me try again. Depending on the pose and the rig. But anyway, the idea is really, if we have the rig already, and then of course render is a render. You're gonna get a render of Spider-Man. If you have like a 3D scenes that you already set up, like a beautiful beach like this, of course you can do that in 3D if you have the assets and stuff, or you want to pose this guy instead of at the beach, Spider-Man dancing uh, in the city of New York. Busy street, daytime, sunny, best quality. If I render again, same pose. Blender talk to automatic 1111. So every render will take around 20 seconds, 20, 25, sometimes longer depending on your machine. If you are using AI, of course, you don't need to use the AI. You can always draw the character yourself based on this rig. So because this is in 3D already, right? You can just draw it yourself and then draw the background that you like. Oh, we still have the beach. You know why? Because I forgot to run this. Whenever we make changes to the script, we need to hit run here and then do a render, and it's gonna render Spider-Man on that pose, and then we just wait because the AI is doing the processing. Now we have Spider-Man. It's not in the same pose. I think the open pose, maybe it's buggy, or maybe my setup. If the setup is not correct, then you don't get the same pose. However, okay, I also use another tool. Okay, it's my confusing. I use so many tools at the same time. I'm doing this just to show you. I will grab the pose from a files, of course, from the Blender control net, from the render that we just did. Okay, if you use Nel, depending on the rig, I think we might get a result that's, yeah, okay, this one works. I will just generate one using Drawthings AI app. Drawthings is available on the iPhone, the iPad, and Mac OS. If you're running it on the Mac OS, it's much better because it doesn't make your device hot. Because it's on the desktop, you can always run it 24/7, unlike your mobile or iPad. Unless it's plugged, of course, but it's gonna be really hot. On the Mac, this is Mac Mini M2. So we got a pose of the Spider-Man. It's quite nice actually. This one, I'm using the Perfect World model. So it's depending on the model. The thing about the AI, of course, it's really dependent on the model, and you can always prompt it. You can prompt anything. You can say like Spider-Man. You can say Japanese Spider-Man dancing on the beach. Okay, let me change this. Dancing at the subway, crowded, best quality. Yeah, it's the prompt. This is the positive prompt. This is the negative prompt. Worst quality, low quality. Okay, just render. The AI, of course, happily render this out for you. And I can make a one render, or I can make 100 or 1000 variations of the same ideas, of the same pose, and it's gonna keep generating with different background as well. Yeah, okay. Japanese Spider-Man. This we can also say maybe if we change this to dreamlike photoreal, I changed the model. So you're gonna totally different photographic Japanese monkey dressed up in Spider-Man costume. So I'm starting to get a little bit crazy here, but yeah, you got the idea. From this rig in Blender that we can pose whatever we like. If you're as a comic artist, of course, if you want to draw Spider-Man in perspective with a your camera, if you want to set the camera like let me select the camera here and then change this focal length to 24, we can have like a really dynamic pose, much more dynamic pose in 3D. For comic artists, this is probably more than enough. And then so you can imagine from this reference. I will do another render again. Okay, again, this will talk to automatic 1111, and we are hoping that it's gonna generate the result that we want. It does create Spider-Man in the city, right? This is the new one with perspective. Is that the result? Yeah, the result is, again, the pose is wrong. I think there's something that is not right, a little bit buggy. So this one is still Spider-Man at the beach. Spider-Man dancing on the beach with ocean background, sunset, best quality. I don't know why this one. Okay, it's trying to match the pose. Maybe my processing is incorrect. Maybe I should use open pose hand. Open pose with a hand. Try again. The one with draw things AI. So it's creating some result. This one actually Spider-Man have with a flag. The hands and the feet, which might look weird, but that's for you to draw. You know, if you can draw hands, if you or just reference yourself, just pose it, because it's, you can always use your own photos if you want with Spider-Man. Pose from files. Okay, I'll grab the render from Blender once again. This one with perspective. Yeah, okay. Open pose is not always reading the pose correctly. You can you can do it this way. You can grab the pose and then you're gonna get also the pose from files. And you can fix the pose manually here. Only if you feel like doing this. Okay, it doesn't read the head, that's why it's often the case. Yeah, okay, this is actually not too bad. I think the leg's probably wrong. Yeah, again, it's reading. This one is actually trying to read the hands. It's not perfect. Maybe I should increase the resolutions, but yeah, it's fun. It's the pose is a little bit more dynamic here. I could use a different like if I use depth or canny processing. If I use depth, if I use canny and canny processing, Let's see what's the results gonna be. Yeah, see, this one is using dreamlike photoreal. The result is not as good as the previous one. So if I'm using this pose, let me fix this. And I'll use this perfect world model. I'll make 4 variations, just for example. Let's wait. Let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, this one's still Spider-Man at the beach. You know, you see, the AI can be pretty random. This one is actually pretty perfect looking. It's cartoony because I'm using Protogene anime model, and it happens to have a good one. It's diffusing the pose correctly in this case. I'll make 4 variations. So yeah, the video might be slightly confusing because I talk a lot of things at the same time, but just doing it for you guys. So what's the point here? Drawing Spider-Man for comics or graphic novel or manga, you need to have a nice pose because it's for comics, right? Comics is like a lot of photo. It's very well composed. You need to make like a really nice composition, dynamic, and you also tell story with the comics. Okay, so you're gonna have like a bubble. I want to do some comics in like this year. I should do that actually. At the same time, okay, if you do comics, you need reference. Okay, you need to be able to draw gesture. If you can just figure out the pose without reference, even better. If you're like Miyazaki Hayao or like really good comic artists can just draw the pose and then maybe use reference on top to just get like the hands or all the details. Like again, this is from Post Maniacs. They have all kind of cool pose every day that you can study. This one is like a Ole kind of pose, and you can use that with this guy over here, Leonardo AI. Use that screenshot, and I will just hit generate. Oh, actually, I should enable pose to image. Generate. This is using Leonardo AI, but from that pose, of course, you can just draw it and draw Spider-Man. That's it. Finish, right? If you use AI, why do you use AI? Maybe you want to have reference of Spider-Man exactly on that pose. I don't know, maybe for shading purpose. Yeah, all kind of Spider-Man. This one, I specify epic digital world, dynamic digital artwork, a monkey dressed as Spider-Man. Okay, this one, the prompt is a little bit weird. I'm telling the AI to draw a monkey to pose like this Spider-Man, but yeah, you get some example. Really cool one. Spider-Man is kind of perfect example when we are talking about AI. With AI, of course, there's infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities might be good, might not be good as well, because it might confuse your brain. There are so many things you can do with AI. Infinite amounts. In theory, it's infinite amounts, but yeah. So this pose, unfortunately, Pose Maniacs doesn't talk to Blender. Okay, you cannot just, okay, I have this pose, I want this pose inside Blender. You can perhaps do that. There are tools out there that can connect a certain pose into 3D rig pose. Or if you want to do it manually, just feel free to manually do it using this rig. Yeah, this Spider-Man rig. If you just Google it, you will get Miles Morales Blender rig, and you can give donations to the artist. Yeah, this rig. Just go to the Gumroad. So it's available for you. You just yeah, just download it or purchase it from this artist. Yeah, you can, then you can have it inside Blender, and you can post it whatever you like. So that's another tools, right, to just play around with. And this AI one, of course, this one kind of giving you more informations and reference. You can also specify the beach or the city, in the city, dancing on top of the taxi, busy road, crowded New York City. You can even say like raining or things like that. It's almost like the AI is kind of like a, it's not cheating if you treat this like a tools, right? It will give you like almost like a final result. It's like your brain is almost like, oh, now I don't need to do anything anymore. I can just tell the AI to do it. But not really, because you can always push the pose, and the hands and the feet is simpler, but the hands and fingers can be improved. This is like a, yeah, important part of the process. The hands and fingers, that's the tricky part. It's always tricky, even in 3D. If you're posing a hand and finger, you might think, okay, it might take you few minutes, sometimes hours. It's gonna take few hours just to pose a Spider-Man hands, unless it's doing it like this pose, like the web slingers. But yeah, sometimes simple things to make it really good takes time. That's the thing. And okay, yeah, the AI is drawing Spider-Man on top of taxi and crowded streets, New York City. It's giving you a lot of things. And yeah, this one's cool. I like this. This one position is really weird, but the pose is correct. The pose is just amazing. So if you want to do this yourself, in the end, you're gonna have like a visuals that you want to share with your friends or family. Something that maybe you can sell as an artwork, right? That's the main ideas. But you also want to make something by yourself, by your own hands, and creativity. That's the main point. So, and the AI, of course, sometimes, like you might notice, it draws sometimes realistic, kind of look realistic. Composition can be really weird, but the shading can be really realistic or stylistic. That's also another thing with Spider-Man. If you draw it yourself, you're gonna have some variations. Yeah. So that's basically what I want to talk about. Maybe I miss a few things, but yeah, almost pretty much it. If you go to AI and then search for Spider-Man for more inspirations, you actually can find a lot. All types of Spider-Mans, the one with Venom, and this one is cool. The monkey Spider-Man is really cool. This is rare and looks unique. Yeah. But this is AI made. It looks beautiful, but if you draw it yourself, that's kind of like back to drawing board, right? I mean, back from scratch. But in the end, whether you're using AI, just came out with a pose and yeah, something cool. You can do both way. The satisfaction if you draw it yourself, and then the way you can caricature a Spider-Man, it's gonna be different. Like the AI, of course, can just do it in just few seconds, like what you just see here. But I don't know. It's like I said, it's like now at this very time, very moment, you got all the tools. Sometimes most of the tools actually free. You can find all the free tools, or you can use other tools, other 3D softwares that you pay the license for. But the tools is all out there. Everything available for you right now. Um, Even with the cheapest computer machine, you can download Blender, run it. If you want to learn use AI, maybe you need a little bit more powerful machine. I think the standard will be like a Mac Mini M1, Mac Mini M2. That's a really good one actually. Professional quality, professional standard, uh, and you can just make your manga graphic novels. If you are using Blender, you can use Grease Pencil, and actually you can also animate. Okay, I always forget. With the rig, you can do anything, right? It's like a stop motion puppet. So you get all the tools. It's just a matter of uh, having an ideas and just come up with stories. All right. So yeah, but anyhow, AI can do like this kind of render. In fact, if we are doing like a dance in front of video in front of your smartphone, with that video you can actually turn it into kind of like a video that looks like Spider-Man comics, like a render. But it's up to you. Maybe you can even use filter, right? If you use Snapchat or TikTok with a filter, Spider-Man filter, you're gonna get basically like a Spider-Man. Or you use, if you're like a cosplay and you can dance, you can also make a Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is like this strange superhero with so many variations that it's available for you, and it's just a matter of creating story. So one of my favorites superhero. Hopefully you find this video useful. So whether your tools is your own hands drawing doodles or 3D like Blender, or even using AI, kind of like cheating, but also if you put a bit of works like video of yourself dancing, you can convert it into dancing Spider-Man using AI. That's really gonna be the tools that's gonna be available from yeah actually right now. Okay, so yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.